that one of it's not like an intentional thing, but one of the big things they do in the movie and especially in the musical, is that there is a master race, which is the lions, and all of the other animals bow down to them.
Yeah,
That's a good point.
yeah,
and also,
that's
there's
true.
mad segregation, and the lions control everything that they do. They check on the populations. They
But,
tell
like-
everyone when they can hunt. They tell everyone, all the herbivores, when it's okay to graze and go to the watering holes. They control everything.
So you're
But,
saying we
like-
gotta rise up against the lions?
Yeah.
But like the lions could just eat everybody.
Well, we just need one son, and we'll take care of it.
Maybe the problem, Kevin, is that the lions could eat everybody.
That's
Yeah.
what they eat. They eat everyone.
That's why they're the
Are we gonna
master.
tell them to stop eating?
We should make a lion guillotine.
Lions are the neo-Nazis?
So anyway,
Oh, wait.
we're talking about Hausu, and this is a cubic inch of sound. And my name is Luke, and what the fuck did I watch?
I don't know.
Me
Every
either.
movie is personalized.
Everyone sees something.
Am I the only one who's gonna introduce?
Yeah.
Oh,
My name is Kyle, and I know what I watched, and I enjoyed it. Fuck you.
I'm Kevin.
Sick.
I'm Dan, and I ate too much ice cream.
I
40
ate a
Oh,
lot.
did he become fat like in the picture?
Yeah. I am
Yeah.
now
I
fat Dan.
can relate to Dan hard, because right next to me I have an entire tray of gingerbread cookies cooling, and then next to that is an entire tray of sugar cookies that we frosted earlier.
Yo,
Oh,
can I have
nice.
one?
Yeah, I want one.
You sure can. Take them away from me, please, before I literally die.
Throw them over state boundaries.
I'll toss them like a football.
Yeah. So, house. That's what it translates to, actually, from
Sorry,
Japanese.
I did it wrong. It's house.
Was there a dub of this? Was there a dub of this
No.
movie?
I
Probably
didn't
not.
see any.
It only came out in the States in like 2009, I think.
There might be
Yeah.
a fan dub.
It was brought over by the
I'm gonna look that up,
Criterion
actually.
Collection, which the Criterion Collection is basically a friggin' group. I don't know what to call them, but they're just a bunch of people who think that media shouldn't die, and they take a bunch of obscure movies and remaster them and bring them overseas.
All
They're a
of the-
physical movie publisher.
Yeah.
That's it. They get slightly fancier movies. And Wes Anderson.
I look up House fan dub and I get Mephiles the Dark from the Real Time fan dub.
There you go.
Sonic 06.
Yeah, it's the same thing. It's because of his Fortnite house, his gamer pad.
gamer pad.
So, one thing I thought was funny about this movie was it came out in 1977, and it was essentially like after Jaws came out, and like horror movies and blockbusters kind of started up being a big thing. Some executives in Japan were like, we should do that for Japanese audiences. So they approached the director for this movie, and he's like, can you make something like Jaws? And he just kind of looked at them and then made this.
This movie will do to houses what Jaws did for beaches.
I'm scared to be in a house right now. I'm terrified right now, dude.
I did walk into a dark basement while I was home alone after watching this movie, and I thought, yeah, okay, I could die right now.
The
Okay,
main
so-
thing I enjoyed about it, there's two main things. The first one was that it was way more artistic than it needed to be, especially in the beginning. With like the fucking really interesting and intricate transitions that they set up, and the
Fades.
no, well, kind of fades, but this was 1970, where you couldn't just stick it into a fucking post-processing computer, Kevin. So they had
Windows
to
Movie
actually
Maker
set all their
existed,
shit up. What?
There were definitely
Windows
some
Movie
unique
Maker?
uses of cameras. Here.
There was a lot of unique stuff, and I was gonna
But-
get into. I feel like we should give an overview of the plot first before we get into
Oh.
the technical
Well,
stuff.
But
actually, I
the
was
cameras, Luke. The
This, hold on.
cameras.
This leads into the plot. The main thing I was shocked by is how fucking wholesome the first half of the movie is.
I kind of wish it stayed like that.
I don't even know about wholesome. I was watching it was like a porno, basically, just without
No,
the
yeah,
porn,
it was like
you
it
know?
looked like
Yeah.
a parody like porn intro.
It felt like some kind
It
of
was kind of
nightmare
funny,
fever
though.
dream.
It just felt like in the first hour, it was just, hey, I'm gonna get all my friends, and we're going to my aunt's house, my sad old aunt, and we're gonna keep her company and clean her house and make her food, and it'll be great. And everyone's like, yeah, I'm down to just help your old fucking aunt and stay in her house over summer break. and then
They're
they get
all
there,
dumb.
and then they just do that. They just help their, and then, well, obviously some shit goes down, but for the first bit, they're just there being chill with the ant.
Yeah, pretty much. So it follows the main girl whose name is Gorgeous. I don't know if
Wait.
I don't know if her name is
Her
that
nickname.
or if it's
Wait, real quick,
What's her
I want to
real
see if
name?
I can
How
I
do we
can
know?
name all of the characters like the Spice Girls.
I got the IMDb page for reference.
No,
I
okay.
already
all
wrote
right.
them down.
Don't cheat.
I want to do it off the top of my head.
Yeah, I'm just
So-
gonna make sure he gets it right.
It was Gorgeous, Melody, Sweet, Kung Fu, which was my absolute favorite.
Yeah,
I love
Kung Fu was the best girl.
honestly.
Kung Fu was the best.
Prof, which is obviously short for Professor. Did I say Gorgeous already?
Yeah.
Yep. And then there was one more, I think. And fuck the Mac's the
I was gonna say
not
chicken nugget, but
Did-
okay.
Did you say
Mac's the
fantasy?
not fat, but they keep calling her fat one.
Did you
Am I
get
missing
Fantasy?
Oh no, I didn't. In Fantasy, who's like who's not the main character, but kind of is after they get to the ant's house.
Pretty much, yeah. So all of these girls end up going on a trip because their trip gets canceled, and then Gorgeous was going to go somewhere with her father, but then her father's like, "Ooh, you have a new stepmom," and she's like, "Nah, I can't do that." And I was thinking like, oh, is this gonna follow the trope where like the stepmom, at first she doesn't like the stepmom, and then maybe over the course of the movie they learn to get along, she learns to accept this person into her life. No, that doesn't happen at all. That's just not fucking it.
Yeah, but at the end of the movie,
No,
No,
that was literally not what happened, Kevin. I know
Yeah,
they were
you kinda
sitting there
missed
looking
that
at
part.
each other, and then she's just like,
that was.
I set
I
you
wanna
on
know,
fire with
Kevin,
my
they-
That
Amaterasu.
was not fucking gorgeous, Kevin. That was
Whatever.
not fucking gorgeous. That was there sitting with her.
So Gorgeous also like finds a cat. Like the cat just like shows up, and she's like, "Oh, I guess I'll take care of this cat." And they bring the cat like on the train with them when they're going out to the country to get to her aunt's house, and then her aunt is like, "Oh yeah, that's my cat. Yeah, such a good cat, right?" And nobody questions this. The aunt.
Well, they're like, it's
starts-
weird. This looks like that cat. Strange.
Like, it is that cat, idiot. Dab.
The aunt fucking gets up from her wheelchair at one point. She's like, "You know what? Seeing you guys around has really lifted my spirits. I can walk again." And everybody's just like, "Wow, that's awesome, dude. Cool."
Well, to be fair, they're like, "What happened to your legs?" And she's like, "Nah, I'm fine." But then they decided to wheel her around anyways.
Well, she just it's kind of I don't know if it's a trope or I've seen a few shows, animes. I'm a weeb. I've seen a few animes where like just old people in general will get rolled around in wheelchairs if they just like need like a cane because they don't want to be up all the time. So like when we give our old people walkers, they just wheel them around in wheelchairs.
So she's pulling like a Grandpa Joe over here, like pretending to be all weak and shit, but like she could walk the whole time.
No, I
Fucking
think she was
asshole.
weak until she had her meal.
Yeah. And the girls, they start getting picked off one by one by the witch aunt who's dead
Well-
and a ghost, and her cat is like a demon of some sort. I don't fucking know how to explain any of this. I don't know what happened.
I suppose
the
they
head
get
comes
picked
up
off
from
one
the
by
well.
one, but it's sort of more like Mac gets picked off, and everyone's like, "Oh, she's just missing. We gotta go find her." And then Gorgeous gets picked off, which Gorgeous dies second, which is fucking crazy.
No,
to
I
me.
thought it was.
It's hard to tell exactly when she died.
It is hard to tell exactly when she died, but she's I assume it's when she's looking in the mirror and then her skin breaks away, and then it's just fine.
Was she the second? Who was the one?
That was Sweet, and she died after that. I remember because I thought she would have died before Gorgeous, but then after Gorgeous in the mirror scene, they cut back to Sweet, who's still doing whatever the fuck she was doing in that room.
Okay, so just quick overview to just go over all the deaths, like make sure we got this right. It went Mac got the head cut off in the well. Then
Oh, she got fucking just straight up eaten, I think, and then her head was left.
yeah, okay, and then Gorgeous got possessed.
Yep,
Sweet got eaten by the pillows and turned into that doll.
which was weird. Yeah.
Melody was eaten by the piano.
which is a really cool scene.
That's
Professor
really cool.
fell in and drowned or something. Kung Fu got eaten, but then her legs came out and kicked the
Listen,
thing.
Kung Fu put in the most amount of work in this movie.
Justice for Kung Fu, dude. She should have lived.
I didn't expect all of them to die. You know, I was like, all right, if Kung Fu doesn't make it out, I'm gonna be upset. And you know what? She didn't, and I was upset.
I will agree with you, Luke. She deserved better.
I'm just impressed that even after detached, her legs were still chopping and kicking.
She just had so
Yeah.
much determination.
Like that was,
That fucking, when that wood cutting scene happened and she's being attacked by wood, I was like, she's surviving. You can't kill her. She's a god.
And she's like a Skyrim NPC. Like, oh, must have been the wind.
Yeah. How can you kill what cannot be killed, witch? She's
But we-
fucking immortal.
we never
Except
actually
for
saw what
Richie.
happened to Fantasy, though. They kind of left that
Yeah.
open-ended.
But she
I
could just be
thought-
sleeping. She said, "Oh yeah, my friends are sleeping until they're hungry."
I
Yeah.
thought she was going to be spared because there was that scene when they were floating and she was screaming like, "He'd come back, he promised." It was just like what the aunt like kind of was saying about her fiance. So I'm like, oh, maybe the spirit will look at her and like feel
Yeah.
empathy and let her
Except That
go.
wasn't Fantasy's fiance. That was her teacher boyfriend.
That was creepy. That was weird.
We're really unpacking a lot of shit here. You know, like it's so dense. There's so many images happening at all the time. I don't
Dude,
even
my
know.
favorite was at the end when I was like, wait, but what happened to the teacher? I want to know what happened to him. And then she pans to a shot where it's just bananas. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me?
I was so confused when that happened because like I kind of stopped paying attention for the scene when the teacher met the watermelon vendor, and I look back and he's just screaming bananas and hitting himself on the head, and then it cuts away. And I
Yeah,
really had no
so
idea.
so the whole movie, you're kind of waiting for the teacher to arrive. Like, oh, this teacher guy, you know, like maybe he'll be the one who ends up saving them, or like at least making things less bad. You know, he shows up to the watermelon vendor where they bought a watermelon from. That's like a pretty big plot point. That watermelon was
I think
pretty
they stole the
important.
watermelon.
She said she paid for it.
And then
I
the
got the
teacher gets there. He talks to the guy. The watermelon vendor says that like all of the girls have been eaten in the house, and then the teacher buys a bunch of bananas.
No, he turns into a bunch of bananas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He
The
didn't
little hat was on top of the
He
banana
becomes
pile.
them. Yeah, it's pretty good. He's got a weird car.
He's got a tiny car. Yeah.
He got
Yeah.
lost a couple times.
He lost a lot of times.
He was a
Yeah,
wacky
he-
dude.
How did he get his car there? Didn't they go over like a fucking pedestrian bridge? Like a footbridge? Like a
don't
rope
remember.
bridge?
Oh, they did.
he drove over it, dude. Maybe he went another way. I don't know.
Well, one other thing I was wondering is so like the stepmother goes in and gets like blown up once she meets the spirit, but presumably the next person to go looking will be the dad. But he is not an unmarried girl, so will the house just kind of like let him be and just be like, "Hi," like
Yeah, the curse will be lifted because the guy came back.
I guess, but
Thank God
there
for
was,
men.
Gorgeous's mother got married in the house with the father, so wouldn't it have broken the curse when the husband walked in, and then it would have been like, oh man, a guy walked in, sick.
The girls just should have married each other, and then that would have broken the curse.
It was the 70s. It was a
That
different
would have
time.
been the porno
Oh.
version of House, Kevin.
Okay, I have multiple notes that I wrote down where I just say, what the fuck? And what the actual fuck is going on? And what am I watching? I didn't even write down what was happening. That's all I said.
I didn't even attempt. Like,
It's really
no notes
hard.
were opened.
There was one part really early on where they learn the story. So they don't fully learn the story, but they learn the story of the aunt from Gorgeous while they're on the train going there, and it's presented in like an old timey film sort of way, which is kind of cool, which is kind of cute because the movie's old anyway. But the characters all comment as if they're watching the film.
Yeah, it was like
And
a
it's like,
reaction video.
Are they? Are they watching it? Was she carrying
They
around a
called the
fucking
atom
They
bomb.
projector?
were
Cloud.
sitting there just like, your uncle's handsome. Like, what the fuck?
Like, how did they
Atom bomb cloud,
know?
they're like, it looks like cotton candy.
There was something about the editing of this movie where I was just sitting here. I'm like, this looks like a YouTube poop.
Yeah, I wrote, it's directed like a modern day shitpost. And that's
Because like whenever anything crazy was happening, they would just like spam like the scene like a few times over and like reverse it or something. I'm like, this is
Yeah.
just like a YouTube poop.
I will say the editing was incredible. Like I would not be able to say anything bad about that just because it was ahead of its time in the worst possible way.
My favorite part was when Melody sits down at the piano and just starts playing the Up theme.
Did she?
No, she plays the house melody sounds like the Up theme. My first thoughts when she sat down at the piano were, oh, she's playing the first 3 notes of Welcome to the Black Parade, and then it turned into the Up theme.
Oh,
And-
I think I thought the same thing.
The theme was catchy and stuck in my head, but now that I think back to it, it's not in my head.
Yeah, same.
Halfway through the movie, they do a remix of some of the music, but it's a cat meowing for all of the instruments.
Yeah.
And that was definitely a YouTube poop moment right there.
Oh, yo, I think the best YouTube poop moment is the skeleton absolutely jamming in the
Oh my
background.
god, I love the
Throughout
skeleton.
every scene when that piano was being played, it would cut to the background and you'd see the skeleton dancing, and I loved
Having a
that.
fucking blast.
That was my favorite part of this movie.
And no one ever noticed him. They only noticed him once, and they were like, "Oh, it's a doctor's house, so it's like a skeleton, like an anatomy skeleton." Ah. And then after that, everyone just lived with it. He was
I
just
really thought the skeleton was going to become plot relevant at one point with how much it was dancing.
Yeah, I
in
thought
the
it was gonna kill
background.
someone at least, but no.
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 Poor
Obviously,
guy.
she wasn't gonna get killed by the skeleton. She got eaten by the piano. What else was gonna happen? What, you've never
she
seen a
kinda
movie where
seemed to
somebody
like
gets
it.
eaten by
Do
a
you-
piano
do you-
before?
Do you think that the melody being eaten by the piano scene inspired the Mario 64 piano?
I was just thinking of making a joke about that. I don't know.
The
Perhaps
thing that
it's
really
possible.
struck me about that scene was how much Melody seemed to enjoy getting eaten by the piano.
Are you curious, Dan?
Well, I mean,
I'm a little disturbed.
listen, Dan,
Is
we're not here to
is
kink
Dan
shame,
Bohr
alright?
curious?
For curious.
I'm here to give out a little shame. That's a bit fucked up.
Well, I mean, like, we can't really judge what people like, can we?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure she was a
Like,
decapitated head
Prof?
getting thrown out of the piano saying, "This is naughty." Pretty sure that was an actual line.
Prof got fucking stripped and I hated that scene. Prof got fucking stripped and, like, fucked by the water. And that's
Yeah.
how she died.
That was
It was awful.
There was some level of nudity in this, and
There was
and it
there was 2 seconds of something. I forget.
There was several
Th-
scenes
there was more
of
than two.
underage titties, which was weird.
yeah,
Well,
it was
I
kind
mean-
of uncomfy.
They were adult actors.
We think.
Presumably.
We didn't look them up.
They're adult
I,
now.
I haven't looked up shit. What do you mean they're adult now? What the fuck, Kevin?
I don't know.
No, Kevin.
That's a hard. You think you could use that as a legal defense?
The credits were really aesthetic. I liked that.
I liked the credit. I liked watching the actresses like running around in the field because it almost made it seem like the characters were in the afterlife having a good time.
Is that
My favorite part of this movie when they were just chilling in front of the school, just like talking.
Where the fuck is gorgeous?
Oh yeah, wait. Was that gym teacher actually in an arranged marriage, or was it a joke? I can't tell.
I have
I have
no
no
clue, dude.
Dude, I don't know what fantasy sees in that dude. She could do better. He got his ass stuck in a bucket, and that's why all this happened.
Oh, I forgot about that scene. What the hell?
Oh,
He just
yeah.
like he lagged down the stairs and then lagged all over the street.
Oh yeah, I think that was the cause of my what the fuck in my notes.
And there's like a discount Beatles song playing in the background.
Truly.
Yeah.
Fun fact: all of the music was done by a Japanese band named Go Diego.
Huh.
Which was the inspiration for Go Diego Go, right? The classic cartoon.
Um,
that was a pretty good song. I might listen to it.
there was a couple of pretty good. I like the ending credits song was pretty good. I looked it up and found out that it was just by the fucking band that did all the music. So
Yeah, the
Dude,
music,
the music
was
never
pretty
let
good.
up. It was always happy music the entire movie.
Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah.
this movie is kind of like watching a horror movie, but like while you're going insane.
Dude, I just love Kung Fu had a theme that played
It was
whenever
so
she was
good.
doing it.
The theme was actually great.
And it was really good. And all the time in the background on the theme, I don't know if it was synced with the music specifically, like with the track that they put these, or if they added these in post. There was always a guy, whenever she did anything, they went. It was so fucking weird.
Did the theme play when it was her disembodied legs doing
Yes.
the cooking?
Yep.
Okay.
And it did a scream.
So wait, what exactly is the relationship with the cat in this spirit? Because sometimes it seemed like the cat was like the evil spirit. Sometimes it seemed like the possessed body was the evil spirit.
Well, because they talked about the whole closing, like, any old cat can open a door, but only a witch's cat can close a door. So it seems almost like the aunt is the witch, but also witch cats have a level of power as well.
Yes, that makes sense. I always assumed, based on the cover art, 'cause, like the house logo is kind of like everywhere,
Oh,
that it was a dog, but no, it was a cat.
Really? You thought it was a dog?
Like looking at like just the like Criterion cover, yeah, I kind of thought it was like a dog.
I looked at it and I'm like, cat.
Well,
it's got
maybe
the,
Kevin's just a smarter person.
It's got the vertical eyes.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I assumed it was like a demon dog or something.
Also known as a cat.
What?
Okay, fair.
No, you can't
Fair.
just say a demon dog is a cat.
Dude,
No,
my
I'm okay with this.
What
my
about like a
favorite
wolf?
thing- My favorite thing was when they stuck Fantasy's head through the wall with all of the blue people.
What
was
about
fucking
that
weird.
was your favorite?
It was cool. Like, who the fuck? It just made me think. Like, it was the one scene I remember distinctly watching where it finally like clicked in my head, and I went, "Who the fuck would think of like doing this and putting it into a movie?" Because the rest of the scenes, I was like, I mean, this is super fucking weird, but it never like clicked until that fucking scene when I was very specifically like, who had this thought and was like, I'm gonna do this now. I'm gonna make that exact thought happen no matter how hard it is to do.
I'm gonna be honest. I was kind of sad about the cat because early on I wrote notes about how the cat was so good, and I'm like, oh my god, this cat, the early stage cat, it's adorable. It's so well behaved. It's great. It's like, clearly magic of some sort, just like kind of helping him out and shit. But like, who knows? Maybe the cat is like the good spirit that gets them out of the evil house. But no,
Yeah.
the cat is a demon.
Oh
It's a bad
no!
cat.
The director Nobuhiko Obayashi died last April.
Damn.
Like this year. Fuck 2020, man. All my friends hate 2020.
Yeah, I think most people do, to be honest.
It's been a strange year. We started a podcast.
Biggest mistake of my life.
I
This,
learned about and watched House for the first time this year.
this
I
movie
knew
was
about
like
it, but I never watched it.
if they made anime in real life, and that was crazy.
That's what I wanted.
Your
Ghost in
brain
the
on
Shell.
anime.
That's what I wanted. That's what I wanted Ghost in the Shell to be, but instead they just Americanized it and really hard sexualized. What's her name? Fucking Scarlett Johansson. It was
Forgot
weird.
they made that a movie.
This movie made me cry like an anime fan on prom night.
Because it wasn't anime and it wasn't prom night.
Dude, you know what the word? I fucking hated when I don't really even remember when it happened. I think it was after Mac died and the witch was doing some weird shit, dancing around the house, doing some fucking freak shit, and she just picks up a goldfish and takes a bite out of it, and I was like,
I like goldfish.
The snack that smiles back.
gold.
Yep, that's the one.
Yeah, but it was
I
like
wasn't sure.
it clearly wasn't made of goldfish. I mean, obviously it wasn't a fucking goldfish, but it was like some fish cake, and it's just like I hated looking at it. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Yeah, weird because
weird.
like she threw the first full fish cake in, and it turned into a goldfish. Then she ate half the other one and tossed it in. But like, did it turn into half a goldfish? I couldn't
I'm
really
pretty
tell.
sure
He
then
died.
the bowl just like gained a bunch more goldfish.
Oh.
Hmm.
I feel like there were a lot of moments of this movie where like I would look away for like 20 seconds and then look back and just really have even less of an idea of what
But
was happening.
damn, how could you look away?
Sometimes I felt like I had
Read
to.
the subtitles.
I mean, this is definitely the kind of movie where like it starts off almost sensible. You know, like it starts off and you're like, okay, I think I understand what's happening here. And as it goes on, it just raises so many questions about literally everything that's happening at any given moment.
Yeah.
What do you guys think about the special effects?
Oh man, I like practical effects, so I thought they were pretty good.
You know-
I heard the director said he specifically wanted to make special effects that looked like a child did them. Like that was his
I
intent.
respect it. I respect it.
Yeah, the blood was really not bloody. It kind of just looked like Kool-Aid.
It did. Yeah.
But that kind of made it work. I liked that a little bit.
I mean, they drank some of it. Like all these characters are so fucking clueless. They're just like they fill up their glass without looking at it, and then they just like down it, and it's like completely red, and nobody notices.
Yeah.
What, you don't do that?
No, I have to inspect it
I-
first.
Yeah, I feel like
I can forgive some of the horror movie tropes just because I can't like obviously give it a full pass because some of it was pretty stupid. But also for a lot of it, like the characters being oblivious, I can give it a little bit of a pass because it's like this is the point. The characters were kind of retards.
I can't really
I feel
complain
like the-
about it being tropey, just because it's so fucking bizarre. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, like this
I
movie
wouldn't say
exists
tropey.
on its own plane where like I feel like we can't really apply normal movie criticisms to it.
It doesn't. There is no genre. There's no category that House fits into. It is just a movie. You must simply watch it.
They set up like a good example of this is like they set up Prof as like each person had like a clear fucking like horror movie character trope where like Kung Fu was the strong one and fantasy was the you know spacey one and sweet was the nice one and Prof
Where's
was
the
the smart
tsundere?
one. But it's like they set up Prof as the smart one and then she does one thing and it doesn't help them at all. Like
No, throughout the whole movie, she knew what was happening. She just didn't want to scare fantasy.
Uh-huh. It's fucking funny. Like they set her up as like the person that's gonna save them, and then she doesn't do jack shit.
Well,
I love the
basically,
bit where she tries to justify what's going on. She's like, there must be some kind of device.
If anything, Kung Fu does the most, and usually in a horror movie, like they try and make the tough guy seem like they'll make the tough person seem like a bitch because that's like more intense. Like, oh my god, they killed the tough person. The tough person's tough. Like that should have been like hard to do, but it was easy and that's scary. But no, Kung Fu was like fucking impossible for this woman to kill. She tried like 8 times and it never worked. She was a god. And then she just gets got by a lamp that falls out of the ceiling and fucking eats her.
And still, that doesn't even stop her.
it doesn't stop her legs from just doing their own thing and killing the fucking cat.
Yeah, her legs put up a solid fight.
Yeah, but it's too bad because the witch already gained most of her power back and was able to kill them anyway.
Well, see, they set up the roles so that you had 6 characters who were fucking useless and all didn't do anything, and then you had Kung Fu, and she was the cool one.
That just shows that fighting is the best solution.
If you know
Yeah,
Kung
violent
Fu,
person.
then you're just better than most people. Like, what else is there to say?
They're like, oh yeah, what are you gonna do? Punch the ghost? Yeah.
Yes.
Dude, oh my another really good one was gorgeous. We gotta fucking go get the police. And then she's like, okay, I'll make the phone call. Picks it up. Lion's dead. It's so
Yeah.
fucking good.
That was strange. And then they kind of recognized, like, hey, wait, maybe she was just faking the phone call, and like we can call for help, and then the phone like blows up, It tries
Yeah.
to kill
She
Kung
kicks
Fu,
the
I
phone.
think.
Yeah. I thought that she was gonna die by the phone, and I'm like, that's so
I would have
dumb.
been
Don't do it.
disappointed.
And then she takes out the phone, and it's like, hell yeah.
We all got too invested in Kung Fu, I think.
Kung Fu
Kung
was
Fu
the
was the
best.
best
character.
Well,
girl.
listen,
I
there's no
agree.
way you could watch the movie and not get invested in Kung Fu when she's the only
Yeah.
one who does anything.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's
Mac
true.
does something. She buys a watermelon, and it was her own downfall.
But I don't know if it was her downfall. I mean, she was probably gonna die either way.
Do you think that the spirit was just having fun killing all of them,
Probably.
or there was like they were trying to do it like
I'd
I
like
I
mean,
don't know.
Wild
I feel like
Spirit
burning them
enjoyed
up, like immediately igniting them on fire, is probably the most efficient way of getting rid of everyone.
Why else would she have Mac's head at the bottom of a well, and then it flies up and bites Fantasy's ass and doesn't kill her and disappears? Like, what? Like,
That's an iconic-
God, I
that's
fucking wish
fun.
that were me.
Wait, the one getting bit or the biter?
The one getting bit. All I've ever wanted is for the disembodied head of an anime girl to fly up out of a well and bite my ass. That's all I've
Has to
ever
be
asked
anime?
for. Has to be anime, yeah. Why is it even called Hausu? I don't understand. It's set up. Was there not a real Japanese word for house? Why is Hausu a loan word? I don't understand. Is there any Does anyone know?
So I can give my guess. So like in Japanese popular culture, I was gonna portray me as like a mega weeb. I don't even watch that much anime. In
You watch all the One
very
Piece, dude. That makes you
Japanese popular culture, the English language is like real cool, and because of how it works grammatically, sometimes you can just slip in an English word in place of a Japanese one, and it works. And people are like, "It's cool when you do that." So when this probably came out, like having the title be in English and be in Romanji was like cool. It was like,
Wait. Why doesn't that work in reverse? Like, whenever I speak and just randomly say Japanese words, everyone just looks at me weird.
I mean, Japanese sounds cool, but also you sound like a weeb. I guess just because it's like more normalized there to like be a fan of Western culture and just know English because everybody kind of just knows English.
Yeah,
Data bio.
you know Japanese
Whereas
here, you suck.
People don't really know Japanese. Yeah.
Fucking weeaboos.
Yeah. So like, if like next time you listen to a fucking anime intro, they'll just be like,
Never.
"Kimi wa to sanaru awake." Just like
We're gonna get copy strikes.
I don't even. That wasn't even a real song.
Sure. It's gonna
Temporary
be
stuff.
one, and they're gonna
Sounds
come
like
back
it.
and copyright strike us.
But they'll just throw in a fucking rando English word, and it's like, oh, it's because it sounds cool. Or like they'll wear like English shirts and not know what the fuck it says in English. Like they did there's a whole YouTube video on it if you want to look it up afterward, which is just like a Japanese reporter asking people on the street if they know what their shirt means, and some of them are like sex daddy or like big boob. Like they don't know. They're just wearing it because it looks cool.
Okay,
Like I think
but
one of them was the university.
as if I wouldn't wear a shirt that said "Sex Daddy." Come on.
Yeah, but these like no. Yeah, I would wear that in
They're
Japanese.
respectable people, Luke. That's the difference.
They're normal.
Well, you know, some people wear shirts that say hentai on them in Japanese, and I don't know where I was going with that, but I've seen that.
No, hold on. I got a fucking real short story. My I had a friend in high school named. Actually, Luke probably knows him. Do you remember when Skylar worked at Yahoo?
I think so.
Tyler
We don't need
Pence.
to get into names here.
Oh well, oops. It doesn't matter. I don't care if I fucking dox him. So he was in my senior year English class, and he had this fucking shirt that had very specific Japanese text on it, and to all of our unfortunate, well, not all, his unfortunate, everyone else found it hilarious. Our English teacher knew what it said.
You're fucking with me
Wait.
right now.
Wait,
You're
No.
honestly fucking with me right now. This is exactly
to
the
be
story I was about to tell.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was there for Luke's story.
What? No,
this
it's
fucking happened in our English class.
What did it say? On the
wild. Yeah, no, but shirt. I don't think it said the same thing. Skylar's shirt said "I eat ass" in Japanese.
Huh. Because there was somebody in our English class senior year who had a shirt that just said hentai, and our English teacher was like, "Hey, do you know what your shirt means?" And he was like, "Yeah," and she was like, it's really not appropriate for you to be wearing a shirt like that. I'm not as dumb as I look,
Well, that's the age-old dilemma where it's the Onion article that's like, English teacher doesn't know how to like report kid for wearing shirt that says hentai without admitting he knows what hentai
Is that an Onion article?
Pretty sure.
Is this a widespread thing? Does every high school have like the one hentai kid?
Remember when we asked our English teacher how she knew?
Oh.
All that kid had to say was, "I do not know what my shirt means."
No, I think wasn't it? Didn't he say that he thought it meant peace or something like that?
I think he just said, "Yeah, I know what it is."
Oh, okay.
But yeah, no, our English teacher didn't fucking get him in trouble. She was like, "This is hilarious."
Yeah, our English teacher said something about her nephew. Was that what it was, Dan?
Oh,
Yeah, I thought it was like I watched it with my nephew or something.
what?
I
No, I
don't
didn't
think
hear that part.
I think she just said something about her nephew. I don't think it was that.
I thought it
Or it might have been son, I don't know. Somehow, I mean, honestly, we're getting into really weird territory here.
This movie brings out the weird side of everything.
That was already a different podcast. Sorry, Dan, you missed it.
Oh.
That was the forgotten episode.
Cubic Inch of Hentai podcast.
Is this going to be the abandoned episode that we forget we ever recorded, but then in 40 years, when our rabid fan base wants as much content, we release it, and they all watch it and they get really weirded
No,
out?
that already happened, Dan.
Yeah, it's Paprika. You missed it.
But it's not like
Wait,
we can
what's-
release Paprika at this point. We just don't like I still have the file, but you're just missing a lot of it.
Yeah,
I
well,
didn't get recorded.
I was basically sick for that episode, and I mean, I don't think anybody was bringing their A game, but it was a good movie.
I brought my A game. All right, House.
Yeah, House.
It was a movie where there were 3 kids, and there's an old guy. I think he got a heart attack in like the first 10 minutes, and they go to explore his house. It turns out there's like a fat lady who died in it,
Really
and is
had
haunting it.
Wait,
no idea what you were referencing for a lot of that.
Wait,
There are a
And-
lot of
Kevin,
similarities.
what movie did you watch? Because in mine was about this doctor that works in a hospital where he diagnoses patients that have illnesses that no one else can really diagnose.
Was that TikTok Hospital?
And then he also has like a cane and takes ketamine later in this show.
and he's
Or
Hugh
movie.
Laurie.
Oh, you're watching the side story. That's what happens when the old guy goes to the hospital.
Oh, right, yeah. And they can't figure out what's wrong with him because they're like, it's just cardiac arrest. But he's like, no, he's got a fucking tapeworm in his spine or something weird.
And then he blows up his house with some dynamite that he had.
Yeah, and the doctor helps. They high five at the end while walking away from the explosion.
So after that mess of a conversation, would you recommend House to your
No.
friends and family?
Oh.
Depends on...
I already have.
Would you recommend it to your enemies?
Yes.
No.
I already have done that one as well.
It may unnerve them.
I had made
It's
this
honestly-
comparison before, but I said that apparently Carrie Fisher would, if she had like a guest that she wanted to leave, but she didn't want to just outright tell them to leave, she would put on the Star Wars Holiday Special. I feel like this movie would have the exact same result. Like,
I agree.
99% of people would see it
But-
on the TV and be like, we gotta get out of here. Like, I'm leaving right now.
But I think there would be
But-
that 1% that would then stick for the
I
whole
agree
movie.
with Dan. I think there's going to be a big percentage of people that are just like, this looks like fucking so good.
Fake a power outage.
I mean, you
Turn
could
off the
just
lights
fake a
and be like,
power
"Oh,
outage
no."
to begin with. That could be your plan A. But yeah, anyway, I would say like this is the kind of movie that was entertaining to watch, but I don't know if I could in good faith recommend it to anyone.
I thought you were just gonna full stop. This is the kind of movie that was entertaining to watch.
It
So I give it a 3 out of 10.
it had some redeeming qualities. You know, the editing was pretty cool. A lot of it was pretty funny, but like, what the I feel like it was an hour and a half of my life that has just gone into the void, you know?
If there was like a weird person that liked weird things.
I already recommended it to 2 of my friends and 1 of my enemies, so...
Hell yeah.
It was the kind of movie that, like, I'm gonna die and my life is gonna flash before my eyes and I'm gonna be like, what? I actually wasted time with that? Oh my god, wow, huh, I really fucked up my life, didn't I?
You're gonna see all the times you were on the toilet, too, and you're gonna be like, I wasted my life there so much.
Well, it's not like I had a choice. It's not like I was gonna not
Yeah, but what
take
about those
shit.
times where you spent an extra, like, 20 minutes down there just on your phone instead of doing whatever? That
First of
compiles.
all, I don't want to
Like
be having this conversation. Second of
100,000
all, I don't do that, so get fucked.
Well, you call me again when you're at the end of your life and your shit's flashing before your eyes.
Yeah.
Oh
Right.
yeah. Apparently, Gorgeous's dad was working with Sergio Leone, and I'm like, that's bullshit. I call bullshit.
That was pretty good.
His music is not that
says,
much more.
what does he say? His music is better than whose? And that was
Morricone.
yeah, Morricone, because his music is fucking incredible.
Yeah, that was bullshit. No,
Enrico Morricone, right? Oh, Ennio Morricone or Morricone. He's got Quentin Tarantino bought a couple of his songs to use in his films, which I think is pretty cool.
You can just buy them on iTunes and then just use them.
No, like he bought the rights to them, like the full-on copyrights.
Huh.
Nice. Anyway, this is probably where we do suggestions, right? Would it be suggestion time if not for the fact that we're not going to do that?
Yep.
Alright, so here's what we're doing instead of suggestions. So next week, we aren't going to be doing a normal cubic inch of sound. We're going to be doing the cubic inch of a cubic inch of sound, aka the cubic inch retrospective.
AKA the cubic inches.
Yeah, aka the cubic inches. I'm gonna try to get everyone on. I don't know how feasible that is because people are like busy and shit. But my goal
shouldn't be busy.
People shouldn't be busy. I don't know what they're doing. But my goal is for everybody who has been on the podcast before to be on it again, and we are going to give the official awards / superlatives for the most well dressed, among other things. I didn't actually put that as one of them, but you know, maybe we should just as a joke.
We should do that, yeah.
All right.
Well, too bad I'm not gonna win because I always record the podcast without any clothes on.
I really, you started saying that sentence, and I was like, please don't say that, and then you did, and I was like, shit. I should have, like, really quickly...
Look into your heart, Luke. You know it to be true.
No. I don't want it to be true, though. It's impossible.
Yeah, it does seem a little bit.
So that's what we're doing next week, which means that we don't even have anything to watch. Can you believe that? This is the first time in
Winter break
weeks that I haven't had like homework for cubic inch.
If you have any superlative ideas, email us at cubicinchofsound@gmail.com.
And
Yeah,
for this
yeah,
week only, if you email us a superlative idea, I won't suck Luke's dick.
For this
But
week.
only if
What? This is the last week. Wasn't that like a year? That was a year bet?
No, there's no fucking like
There's no
It's also
limit.
not been a year.
what's the
It has-
legal
Whatever.
word?
It's the end of the year.
No, what's the legal word? It's the like when you run out of time to sue someone for something.
Time limit.
You know, I mean that's the worst word, but there is no time limit for it. It's just,
It's like period of something-ation.
Grace period.
yeah, I don't know. Basically,
Fuck. I heard it recently.
I don't fucking know, dude.
Statute
It
of
doesn't-
limitation? No.
It doesn't.
there's no statute of limitation
Yeah,
on that threat. It's just gonna go on indefinitely until something happens.